Hello everyone and thanks for tuning in on today's video. Just before we look closely into the models, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on our forecast. We would highly appreciate anyone who does subscribe. So if we look at the surface pressure charts from the Met Office from today, as you can see we have currently got a cold front sweeping across the country, which is currently bringing light rain and drizzle to parts of England, whilst an included front and a warm front is currently getting on approach to Ireland. This is from a low pressure base out in the North Atlantic, which is why we're seeing these weather fronts start to move in. Whereas tonight we start to see a more distinct feature of an included front start to push in Ireland and a warm front, and many warm fronts and cold fronts pushing into England as well as parts of Ireland too. And then by tomorrow we should see another occluded front keep pushing into Ireland. So we've got a kind of a line of occluded fronts moving into Ireland. So you can see one after the other. So you can see one at 12 o'clock on Thursday, and one currently on arrival, as well as also two cold fronts sweeping across the country on this one. And then by Friday early hours we should see a warm front pushing up from France, as well as many occluded fronts now pushing into Scotland, as well as the track is changing. And then once again on Friday afternoon we've got another cold front pushing in, as well as a low pressure also based off to the northwest of Scotland. And then Saturday early hours we've got more occluded fronts, as well as a deep low pressure on the approach on Saturday on this one. You can see a low pressure based out here, which would bring quite strong winds if it kept strength. This is based at 959 millibars, which is the pressure, which would mean that the winds would be quite strong. So if we look at the weather warnings from the Met Office, as we do have some weather warnings issued, we've got a rain warning across parts of eastern Scotland. This is for rain, which heavy rain may lead to some disruption. This is for Friday as well, where high ground could see the highest rainfall totals with 30 to 40 millimeters possible in a space of 6 hours or so, and close to 70 millimeters by the time rain eases by Friday evening. And this is the same for southwestern Scotland too, as well as a wind warning as well, where a spell of strong and gusty southerly winds may lead to some disruption to travel and infrastructure. Southerly winds will increase on Friday morning with gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour likely for exposed coasts and hills for western Britain. Some parts of the warning area may see gusts of 70 miles per hour for a time. Winds ease from the west during the afternoon, and this would likely be the same for coastal areas of Wales, as well as northeastern parts of Ireland as well for wind. So very interesting from the Met Office there. We could possibly, don't think we could see a upgrade on this, as this is kept at a very likely a low impact. So this is most likely to be kept at a yellow warning. So if we have a look at the UKV charts, this is the Met Office again. So as you can see, this is currently now. So we've got that occluded front bringing some rain, drizzle and some murk to parts of England, whilst more heavier and intense showers are making its way into Ireland, as well as some sleet and snow to higher parts of Scotland too. And then by the time we reach into Friday early hours, we see multiple cold fronts sweeping across the country, which we saw on the FACS charts, surface pressure charts, as I say. As well, we've also got a lot of intense heavy showers moving into parts of Ireland Thursday early hours, which could be seen as severe possible thunderstorms, but I will take a closer look at that in a second. And this will gradually clear eastwards towards Scotland and North England, as well as the showers continue as well into the afternoon. We could see some possible surface showers pop up across parts of central parts of Ireland, as well as we could also see some showers popping up across parts of England too, which could be thundery in nature, but we'll look at that closely. And then by Friday early hours we've got our warm front sweeping up from the south, and this will bring heavy rain to parts of Ireland, England and Scotland, which will clear northwards. But then we will get another cold front sweeping across the country from the west. So a lot of heavy rain expected for the UK and Ireland this week, but this will gradually clear eastwards which then Ireland is opened up for the sunnier spells. However, some showers are still moving in from the west of the North Atlantic. We've got some showers remaining in parts of southeastern England and East Anglia, so that not much expected there. Whereas Saturday afternoon we could see some surface showers pop up, which could give the 1 or 2 lightning strikes, but we'll look closely into that. And then after that we get another low pressure starting to move through, which would give some strong winds. So we have a quick look at the maximum temperature charts, where as you see today is becoming much more milder from the southwest, which is why you can see in the southwest England we're up to 10 and 9 degrees, whereas northeastern England we're still remaining to low single digits. And as we move in tonight, that warm air will move across the country, bringing quite a mild night for majority of England, and we could possibly reach up to 15, maybe 16 degrees for parts of England tomorrow. And then once again the temperatures will remain the same, whereas Friday afternoon we could see a possible large 15 degrees mark across parts of eastern and northeastern England. So very interesting on this. And then temperatures may dip on Saturday morning, where temperatures could drop down to 5 or 7 degrees. However, daytime temperatures will keep that nicely above double digits, while Scotland remains into the low single digits. And then Sunday early hours morning, excuse me, we're into the low single digits again for parts of England, and northern England into the 4 and 5 degrees mark. Whereas Sunday afternoon, we're reaching still into the double digits, and that is the end of this run. So if we have a look at the quick wind gust miles per hour mark, so you can see we've got some winds picking up across parts of western parts of Ireland, reaching into 50 and 60 miles per hour winds, possible even higher off the coast, but this could also head into exposed coastal areas, which could give maybe 60 to 70 across parts of western and southwest parts of Ireland. And then once again this wind will keep going eastwards into parts of northern England and Wales. This is for tomorrow. And then for Friday, where we've got that yellow warning in places, we can see a large 60 to 70 miles per hour wind gusts are increasing. So you can see parts of Wales reaching up to 66 miles per hour on the north side of Wales, and mainly across the Irish and the British Channel and the Celtic Sea, we're already up to 60 to 70s quite widely, and that will track northwards, possibly increasing in the Irish Sea. So you can see 73 miles per hour there, and then this will affect those places which have received that yellow warning, and that will gradually clear eastwards. And then once again we've got that another low pressure which needs to be watching for Sunday morning, and this is because winds can exceed anywhere from 70 to 80 in the Irish Sea, as well as this could also affect western parts of Scotland, as well as North England and Wales and parts of southwest England, but majority of Ireland is already in the 50 and 60 mark. But we could also see some 85 miles per hour on the western coast on arrival, so we keep a very close eye on that. And then the winds will die down as that low pressure clears away. So we have a look at the rain model, and this is for, we're going to look at this for tomorrow, where we can see we've got that occluded front moving through tonight across parts of Ireland and western parts of England, and then you can see those intense heavy showers start to increase across parts of Ireland as well as across parts of Wales. And we're having a quick focus on parts of Ireland for majority of this video, just because we have got a very possible severe line of storms developing Thursday early hours, and this will track into northern England and parts of Scotland, but we cannot see this on this run. So we have a quick look at the convective available potential energy charts, and this is how much energy a storm can basically eat up to produce lightning strikes. So as you can see, Thursday early hours, we start to see that line possible increasing across parts of the British Channel and the Irish Sea, affecting Wales and southwest England, where we could see a line of intense showers form there. However, Cape levels don't really seem too much on this, so we could only possibly rule out the isolated lightning strikes or two, but not much not much lightning activity within this. Whereas Ireland, we could see a large, anywhere from 500 to 800 joules per kilogram across parts of Ireland as well. So very possible strong and severe thunderstorms we could see here. And I will explain the reasoning why that is in a second when we look at some other charts I will show you. And this convective available potential energy, also known as CAPE, will move up into northern England and Scotland, where we could see these storms become long tracked as well. So we have a look at the if we have a look at the quick what was it called, updraft helicity, and this basically shows how much rotation there is in a storm. So this is basically what we look at for majority of thunderstorms, whether we are going to see a rotating thunderstorm or not. And as you can see in Ireland, we've got some very strong updraft helicity, so you can see distinctly within this area here, also some popping up down here, we could see some quite rotating thunderstorms, which would class as being severe, which would also bring the risk of some tornadic weather, or the risk of tornadic weather within this areas too. And this will gradually clear eastwards towards Scotland, where we could also see that pep up again. You see that little green isolated spot there. So we have a look at the low level shear, and this is basically the shear on the lower levels of the clouds. So this is what we also look at for thunderstorms as well. And as you can see, as we move into Thursday early hours, where we start to see those storms develop, we can see some quite strong low level shear here as well, which would possibly allow a spin up tornado or two. But we will look whether these storms are classed as long lived or not. But as you can see in this area here, so just on the border on Northern Ireland, we quickly change colour because that was not a colour we should have used there. So if we quickly change the colour to black, as you can see within this area, we've got some quite strong low level shear environment here alongside with the strong updraft helicity. So that would be a very bad combination to have with these storms, which could allow a tornado to form, as well as these storms could be long lived, whether the deep layer shear is quite strong or not. But as you can see, once again, deep layer shear is also quite strong across parts of eastern and southern Ireland, also quite moderate up into parts of Northern Ireland as well, but then this will gradually increase eastwards, where these storms do move eastwards into parts of northern England, where the environment could become favoured for tornadic and strong thunderstorms too as well. So if we quickly look at the max reflectivity of this, so we quickly roll it back. So this is for Thursday early hours, where you can see we've got those line of storms developing behind an included front over here, and this will gradually increase as it goes eastwards, where you can see a more distinct line. So we've got one line going there, one line going there, one line going there, and you know the drill. And then these storms could increase further as the deep layer shear is more strong, and we could also see it pep up across parts of northern England as well, as this becomes more favoured environment too. But we'll have a closer look at that later tonight when we issue a convective outlook, so make sure you're following our Twitter page, or shall I say X page. But if we have a look at the tornadic parameter, so this basically shows the tornadic risks within this. So as you can see, we roll it through into Thursday early hours, we've got that increased risk starting to pick up. And as you can see, it increases quite widely across parts of Ireland into the afternoon, as well as it also now increasing into parts of Scotland and parts of England, as well, as that environment becomes more favoured. So we've got some very strong possible severe thunderstorms on the line here for tomorrow morning and afternoon for parts of Ireland and northern England, as well as Scotland. However, we'll be producing an outlook later tonight, and this will likely be a possible slight risk severe setup we're going to see here. So make sure to keep an eye on our Twitter page. But that is all today. If we have a quick look at the saturation levels, and this is basically the water vapor saturation levels in the air. So if there is too much water in the air atmosphere is too saturated, we can see less lightning being produced. So as you can see in the early hours when those storms do develop, we're seeing quite a saturated atmosphere, so we could not see as much lightning as predicted with this one. Whereas if we looked at the significant weather, whether we see those thunderstorms on that reflectivity or not, you can see thunderstorms start developing in western parts of Ireland, parts of southwest England as well as northwestern England, sorry. But you can see quite large and strong thunderstorms developing across parts of Ireland there, and very long tracked into parts of Scotland too. So very interesting weather. We'll keep you updating on our Twitter page, and I appreciate everyone for watching on today's 5-day forecast, and we will be back this weekend producing a 7-day forecast. So thank you all for watching, and I hope everyone has a good rest of their week. Goodbye.